Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another deck tech video. Yesterday we went over Briar, kind of my updated list for Briar, and today we're going to be going over Katsu. Like I said in the Briar video, I've done these deck techs before, about a month or two ago with both of these heroes, but I wanted to kind of give my updated thoughts on how I'm attacking the meta now with these heroes, especially Briar and Katsu, because those are my two main heroes that I play. I play super aggro Katsu, and when I say super aggro, I mean I pretty much don't block unless I don't have a choice, unless it's a severe on hit effect or something like a crush effect from Bravo or something where I'm really trying to prevent that. I'm never going to block. I still think I can race anybody. Briar's a little bit harder, obviously, but I'm trying to kind of change the meta. So as we're going through this, you'll notice some of the minor alterations I made were to try to combat this insanely aggro meta that we're seeing, especially with Briar. So that's kind of the reasons I made the choices I did. There's going to be a couple cards in here that I guarantee you probably haven't seen with a lot of Katsu builds, and you're going to be really weirded out by it, but I'll tell you why I made that choice when I get there, and if you still disagree, it's totally fine. Getting right into it, though, we're running the same ninja equipment that every ninja runs, right? Scales, Heart and Cross Trap, Mask Momentum, Snapdragon Scalers. Some people use Tunic, but since I am doing the high aggro version of Katsu, I'm not ever going to use Tunic. If the game goes 6 turns, I lost. So I want to use Heart and Cross Trap so I can play Command and Conquer, or play Open the Center, or play Surging Strike for free at least once. So it's really useful for that, and that's why I use it. So Master Momentum, Snapdragon Scalers. If I absolutely have to run Null Rune, I will sub out Breaking Skills for that. It's typically what people sub out for if they're running one Null Rune equipment. And I'll run that against a Viserai, or even maybe a Briar, but maybe not. It depends. So, getting into the deck, I'm still running 3 Ancestral Empowerments, still only running 1 Blackout Kick and 1 Crane Dance, because I'm only wanting to search for these cards. I'm not ever wanting to play these cards by themselves or out of hand. I want to play them off of their combos, so I'm going to be searching for them more likely than not. So I only have 1 of each, and then I have Enlightened Strike. So Enlightened Strikes is a great card, run a full set of it. I will actually typically pick either the go again or the draw. I rarely pick the +2 effect with Katsu, but it's really good for that. One minor change I made is I run 1 Fluster Fist, not 2. I found that running 2 Fluster Fists, my original reasoning was 2 0-cost cards that hit for 4. You know, even if they don't have go again, they're really good. They're hitting that break point, and I can always give it go again with Snapdragon Scalers. But I found that second card really wasn't playing a factor more times than not. So I decided to go down to 1 and just try to search for it when I can. And then if I've already played my Open the Center, then I will just use this as a good 0 cost for 4. Sorry, going down into it. I run 4 Plunder runs. I run 3 red and 1 blue. I run the 1 blue just to give me 13 blues in the deck, so I can kind of always have the resources to play my Kodachis and play, my 2-cost cards if I need to. 3 red Plunder runs, pretty standard with Katsu. Where my deck really starts to deviate, and I did this in my last deck tech, I'll kind of shorten the explanation. For my blues, you see a lot of Katsus, even aggro Katsus, they run the ninja blues that block for 3, right, and are 0 cost. Whelming Gust Wave, Rising Knee Thrust, Crane Dance, those type of ones. For me, I'm never blocking with this deck. The only time I'm going to block is when I have no choice. So why would I care to have blues that block for 3? I don't care. Right? I'm not going to need them. So I tried to pick blues that were going to amplify my aggro strategy and really help me be able to race people. So I picked blue head jabs because no one wants to block a blue head jab. Simply put, if I'm attacking for 1, it's basically like them blocking a Kodachi. Like, it really sucks. But if they don't block it, then I get to play my Open the Center and go search for it and play an Open the Center for free, which is 6 with Dominate and go again, right? It's also just good to try to get a mass trigger. No one wants to block a 1 cost. Maybe Kodachi, they didn't block it. Then you play this blue head jab, and they're like, well, crap. Either I block a 1 attack card, which sucks, or I give him his mass trigger. So it puts them in a weird spot. So that's why I run 3 blue head jabs. You'll see a couple Katsus do that, but a lot of people don't. 3 leg taps, obviously. I switched off of 2 Pounding Gales. I only run 1 now. Same reason as Fluster Fist. I just never had... I know it's a 1 cost for 5, which is great, but I found myself not using that second one very often, so I wanted to help my ratios as much as possible. And I only run 1 Open the Center. I'd say running 6 head jabs, I get this Open the Center most games. which is really good. And I always try to run it. And so that's why I only run one. And then if I absolutely have to use it, I'll use it at the end of a chain, maybe when I still have two resources floating to, hit for 5 at the end of a chain. I run 3 red snatches, really good. Obviously, if you give it go again, and if it hits, it draws a card. If you pump this with a plunder run, it's really good. Snatch for 7's always a good number. 3 Soul Bead Strikes. I only run 2 Rise Neath Rust. I don't want to play this card unless I'm searching for it, so I don't need 3 of them. I only need 2 of them. If one of my leg taps hit, then I'll go search for it. It's really good, though, if it has the combo. 5 with Go again is insane at 0 cost. Scar for Scar is pretty standard in Katsu, as well as Razor Reflex. Maginshi, I only run 2 of them. I do not want to see a Scar unless I'm searching for it. It's a 1-cost card, so I can't use it for Kodachis. I don't want to block with it, right? I only want to use this card in the combo line, so I don't want 3 of them because of that, right? Salt the Wound, I added this in. I run 1 of it. Tyler Broughton, who's a Katsu player who won a Road Nationals, he did a deck tech a while back with a buddy. You can go check it out on YouTube. It's really good. Just type Tyler Broughton, Aggro Katsu. He ran this. I run 1 of them because I like the extra yellow that has a 0 cost, so I can use it for Kodachis to pitch. But it's also good to play at the end of a long chain to kind of hit for 4 or 5 for 0 if you have nothing else. It's really good. And you could technically give it go again. So it's really useful for that. Torrent Tempo, pretty standard. Whelming Gust Wave, right? We know what these are. Surging Strike, trying to get that Maginshi line as much as possible. And it's just really useful. And you can use the yellow Surging Strikes for pitch as well. Maybe not with the Kodachis, but with like another card, right? Then we get into my blues. I know my blues are controversial. Again, I do not care to block with blues. I'm never going to block with this deck. So because of that, why not pick blues that are going to help my strategy even more? So I went with Captain's Call. A lot of people don't play Captain's Call Katsu. It's getting really popular in Briar. But my thought process was I can use Captain's Call to give one of these attacks go again, right? So like let's say I have, I don't know, a card that like a Snatch. I can play Captain's Call and then play a Snatch, and now all of a sudden my Snatch has 4 with Go again. And it's really useful because now the opponent's forced to block it out because they don't want me to draw a card that on a card that already has Go again. Or I might use it on a Pounding Gale. So now I'm hitting 1 for 5, right? With Go again. It just enables a couple of these cards that otherwise wouldn't be that great, and it gives them Go again, and it's really useful for that. And it's a blue for 0 cost that I can pitch for Kodachis. Lord of Wind's obvious, right? This is a standard one. And then finally, Lunging Press. Similar to Captain's Call and similar to Head Jab, I'm using this to hit that break point. A lot of people don't expect Lunging Press to come out. So if I can get that extra break point and trigger that Katsu ability as much as I can, I'm going to. And again, even though these blues aren't your standard Katsu blues, they all are 0 cost, so they all are going to pitch for your Kodachis. And it's just really useful for that. So I run 13 blues total. In my sideboard, I'm running Command and Conquer, obviously, for Prism or for a Ranger, for anybody, that Command and Conquer is obviously just a great card. I run 2 Art of Wars in the sideboard. I'll put these in. I'm just trying to push through that extra Katsu damage. Maybe I'm playing a very high defensive build and I'm trying to get, those extra breakpoints. Now all of a sudden everything's attacking for 5 or 6 instead of 4 or 5. So it's really useful for that. I run 3 Flick Flax for the Dorinthia or for any even Briar go wide matchup. Really good for that. 3 Immovables for Bravo. Or any dominating Oldheim, any dominating attacks to kind of, not letting him hit that crush effect. And then finally, I have 3 blue Soul Bead Strikes. I sometimes will sub these out, excuse me, for, if Captain's Call is not working or I felt like it has worked for me so far, but if it's not, or I want to sub out one of these blues made for a blue that does block for 3 and you can still attack with it and has Go again if it hits. Similar to Head Jab, no one wants to block a 2 attack card, so they might actually let this go through, especially if their equipment's already been used up of blocking. So it's really good for that. Again, I know my blues are unconventional, but I'm not blocking with this deck. I'm trying to outrace the aggro meta that is in right now and try to make it as beneficial for me as possible. I've done really well with this deck. I've beat a couple Briars with this deck. I'm not saying like this deck is favored by any means. I don't think any deck is favored technically against Briar right now. But it definitely helps. I think with Katsu, you either have to play insanely Ninja Turtle like they did in the Finnish Nationals, I think it was. The guy who won the Finland. I think it was Finland. If you're Finland Norwegian, the one with the Ninja Turtle deck. Or you're gonna have to play like I'm never blocking ever Katsu, which is the type of Katsu I play. But let me know what you think of the deck. I know it's a little different. I'd love to hear opinions, good and bad. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your experience with Katsu against Briar and against the meta as a whole, where you're trying to go with it, what you're thinking. I would love to hear other people's opinions and ideas. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all so much for the support. It means so much of what y'all are doing, and every little thing you do, even if you're just watching for a minute, it's awesome, and I really appreciate it. But I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on TCG Talk. Thank you so much.